Hey dumplings, it's Dave Decide. Today I want to get into these hacker pics or edited pics, whatever you want to call, of the V and Jennie pictures and what people might believe have happened behind the scenes. I also wanted to get into HYBE doing something different on the new content that is coming out. So hater or not, make sure to subscribe with the notification bell on. Go over dumplings, he's spilling McMursh, and let's get into it. The first thing that we need to talk about is HYBE's action on their new content. If you have watched any BTS content that is outside of their YouTube channel, and not necessarily anything you have to pay for, you can see it on Weverse or even posted on YouTube. Episodes like Run BTS, Bon Voyage, or In the Soup, these shows are virtually the same in terms of it supposedly being unscripted and raw. I say supposedly because with entertainment, there comes moments where people have to reshoot things and talent has to recreate their emotions or recreate a shot. So in those moments, it's staged, right? But for the most part, I think these shows are unscripted and we get to see very raw emotions, especially in Run BTS, where they play sports and when they get upset and when they lose it, you do get to watch those real emotions. If you want to watch these shows with me and we can fangirl together or just chat about it together, I do watch it over on my Patreon. I will link my Patreon below in the description. But there always comes moments where we don't understand what is going on. And I'm not talking about when I'm being dumb and don't understand the rules of their card game they're playing or whatever, but some of the inside jokes they make. I often chalk it up to this idea that the members have inside jokes with each other, we just won't understand it. But some of that can be a cultural joke that we just have no context for. And there's many reasons, right? Apparently HYBE has been listening to this. I didn't know people complained about it. But they're offering a fix. They plan on making the content more enjoyable for people overseas. The head of content business of HYBE came out to give a statement about what their plans are going to be going forward. Currently, their content is best understood in Japan and Korea, and the head of content, Helena, said that they wanted the content to transcend language more, referencing how important the artist-driven content is for the growth of these artists. And it's not just about making music, but having the content that gives us an inside look into these artists. She explained how the growth that they experienced during the pandemic, where people couldn't leave their country, that growth was driven by this content as K-pop idols couldn't go overseas to do promotion on TV. HYBE announced a new pipeline project called What Sub, which aims to give K-pop fans a deeper understanding of the full context in what is being shown and talked about. I assume through subtitles. It doesn't seem like a super hard project, as you can just, I guess, put an asterisk after a joke and put the subs. My concern is that the subs will be so long that it would just be difficult to have a show feel seamless. Like I'd have to read a novel as I'm watching a show. That seems less appealing because I can also just Google the joke and read a 10-page Wikipedia article on the context. And I get it, that's me being lazy and not wanting to read a screen full of subs. But I think most people won't do that. So I don't know what the What Sub plan will actually look like, and I'm very curious to see how they implement this, and is it the way that I'm thinking, or is it going to be a better way to implement this that will ultimately change how we view foreign content? Not just whatever BTS puts out, but even shows like Squid Game, they actually have to try to make sure there were no cultural references, or not too many, because they wanted international audiences to understand it. Very exciting stuff. I'm very excited to see if they plan on going back to old content and redoing all of that, or if it's just content going forward. Now that's all exciting content. There seems to be a lot less exciting content going around. The rumors of V and Jennie dating have been playing out for a while, and I think for the most part, people have stopped demanding an answer. It's really at this point that it doesn't even matter whether V and Jennie are dating or not. What seems to be the concern is that the people who had posted the photos that started the rumors were claiming that the photos were sent either by a close staff member that worked with Jennie, or claiming that at one point Jennie's iCloud was hacked and these photos were in there. I still doubt that these photos are real, and even if they are real, the photos are conveniently not of V and Jennie doing anything. Is this how celebrities date? They only talk to each other when one person is getting their hair done or at someone's apartment? I don't know. A recent new picture came out and everyone thought it came from the same person that had leaked the V getting his hair done with Jennie photo and V at Jennie's apartment. But that person denied any new photos that have come out and says that those were the only photos that they originally posted. Now it seemed like people wanted to recreate the success and fame of the original person that has gotten all this fame and attention from trying to edit these pictures. Now a lot of these people believe that the original photos were posted of V and Jennie was taking those photos, and they believe that those photos are real. They do believe that Jennie's phone was actually hacked and they were sent by either Jennie's staff or they were just pulled from the cloud. People were protesting HYBE to say that this was a real issue, and whether V and Jennie are dating hacking or not, the fact that Jennie's phone and privacy had been hacked is a problem. In fact, privacy and safety ended up being trended on Twitter, and people were tagging HYBE, and people were really upset that HYBE still hadn't said anything. And here's my thoughts. It can either be one or the other. If you believe the photos are real, then likely Jennie was hacked. But if you're like me and think that the photos are fake, then there were no hacking. The photos do not exist, and this is why HYBE may have nothing to come out and say. They look at the photos like these are fake. There's no privacy invasion. However, if the photos are real, there is a big concern over if Jennie has been hacked and what other private or sensitive information might come out or just be available. I doubt information like social security or addresses would be in the cloud, but definitely sensitive information like if V and Jennie were dating, then V's number would be on her phone, or maybe even V's address would be saved into Google Maps, things like that. Now, the original editor or hacker made a group chat on an app. This app allows for over 20,000 people to join the group, and it seemed like everyone who joined just wanted answers, and for the most part, people were not rude and willing to hear out what the editor and hacker had to say. The editor/hacker mentioned that they had originally reached out and sent a message to the two people involved in the photo to get an answer when they had quote-unquote found out about the V and Jennie allegedly dating. Someone asked if Jennie was aware that the photos had been leaked, and specifically who leaked it, because if she knew, she could take action on that person or whatever. But the editor/hacker made sure to say that Jennie actually never responded to their inquiry about the photos. This, of course, to some people implied that maybe Jennie was the only one who didn't respond, and the text implied that Jennie didn't respond but didn't say anything about V, and if V hadn't responded either, implying V did respond. But if V responded, I am sure the editor/hacker would have posted about that, and likely V would have denied it. I don't think V actually responded to the hacker. I think both V and Jennie simply ignored this person, just like what HYBE and YG are doing right now. It would be a really bad PR move for V to jump into the DMs and start having a conversation with someone and then do what? Beg for this editor/hacker not to leak the photo? At the end of the day, when you look at the photo, you can make your own decision on if the photo is real or not, and both idols know the truth. And so they don't care what someone else does. And as you can see, V is still thriving since he came back from New York. I do imagine V has probably had enough of the rumors and simply just doesn't care anymore. I think any idol or person that sees completely fake or false stories floating around, there's nothing for them to address, and there's no point in addressing it. If V comes out and says that it's fake, is the whole fandom going to suddenly just believe him? They're going to have a lot of questions, and probably questions he can't answer. Like if someone asks him, why does the photo look like Jennie is in your apartment? How is he going to answer that? As he may not be as skilled in Photoshop, he may not know how the editor actually did that. Things like that make it pointless to address. But what do you think? Do you think V secretly responded backstage because he was tired of this? I don't personally think so. I don't think he is entertaining this at all. And how do you feel about HYBE's new action on their content to make it more understood? Let me know what you think. Make sure you check out my Patreon for more videos, link down below. Thanks, just love a comment right here. Love you, bye.